Good afternoon for once. This is Quadcopter 101 and I have another review for you of another neat quadcopter just came out. This is the DWI DF32 5.8 gigahertz FPV flyer. Now if you look at the DF32, it looks extremely familiar, extremely similar to another popular quadcopter out there, the X5C. And of course, yes, it is another clone of the X5C, but with a very important difference, something that Seaman never did with the X5C. Notice this little antenna coming out of here. This is a 5.8 gigahertz FPV transmitter built into the camera of this quadcopter. This makes it something much better than the X5C has ever been able to do, because I've only seen, the only FPV at 5.8 gigahertz is that $52 kit that you can purchase for the X5C, which will send the price of the X5C skyrocketing, overall the quadcopter plus the FPV system. This is already built in, ready to go from DF32 or DWI. I believe the name of the company is Dowellin. It's a real strange name. But anyways, if you look at the transmitter, the FPV receiver system is already built into this transmitter. Let's go into this transmitter real quick because it is pretty neat the way they have it set up. Again, the screen is already built into the transmitter, and what's also is unusual, it is an 8-channel, a 5.8 gigahertz system that you select the channels by pressing up on what would be the throttle trim button. Other buttons on this, it has headless mode and 1-key return, which you activate by pressing headless mode with a quick press, and a 1-key return by holding down for 2 seconds. You can record the video from the camera onto an SD card that comes with the camera. Actually, they provide an SD card for this, but you activate photo by pressing a quick button, press of this button here, or a 2-second press will activate the video, or start recording video. It can also do flips, and you activate the flips by pressing down on the pitch roll button, or pitch roll stick once, and then telling it which direction to flip. The range of this is predicted to be at 100 meters, which is pretty darn good. The flight ability of this, I did an initial flight last night with it. It is a very stable flyer, very similar to the X5C. Both of them are real stable flyers. The plastic feels very similar to the X5C. Feels very resilient, hopefully durable to crashes. But other than that, again, it is almost an exact duplicate of the X5C system. It does have an on-off switch. It uses the same batteries as the X5C. In fact, I brought a spare battery with me from my X5C so I can do continue on flight after this initial demonstration of FPV, where I'm going to demonstrate its flight capability out here in the field. So let's go for an initial flight of the DF32. I'm going to start off with FPV flying. My wife's going to assist me. I'm going to pass on this camera onto her head while I focus on the FPV flying. So hope you enjoy this flight. Let's start off with FPV of the DF32. Let's go for an FPV flight of this X5C lookalike, the DF32. And I'm going to choose a higher rate. But there's a breeze here, hold on. Even more higher rate. Okay, now I'm doing FPV. The range on this seems to be somewhat limited, folks. Alright, I'm going up the field. Let's see what the range is on this. Coming down a little lower. Now this doesn't have auto leveling like the 509G. Here, I gotta move it up a bit. This one here, you have to focus on maintaining altitude on this. And focus on where it's at too. It's not as easy to fly as, like, say, the 509G. Flying FPV, actually, quite a bit more difficult. Yeah, I'm going to go stand over here a bit. And I'm still going FPV, but really it is difficult, you know, without that auto level on some of the newer versions. But it's usable. Okay, going around. There's a screen. You have a little bit of a issue there at about 60 meters. Turning around, going the other way now. I don't think I have the ability to fly in between those trees or the skill to do such right now. Where am I at? Let's see if I can fly it back toward myself. There I am. I'm starting to get the hang of it now. Took a second or two to do that. Again, it's nowhere near as simple to fly as like a 509 or the Cheerson CX33. Before I crash in a tree, let's go over this way into the field. I'm still going strong, except it's not recording video no more. Let me press that video recorder one more time. I don't know why the video stopped. Video's on again. Pretty damn high. I better come down. Still going FPV in here. Haven't looked at the airplane yet. I'm still high though. Come on down. Lower. Trying to reduce the throttle. The video stopped again. I don't know why it stopped recording. I'm hitting record again. And I got a full forward pitch. Okay. I'm going to call it quits there, folks. Okay, I still have power on this quadcopter. I'm calibrating the gyros. I want to press this record button one more time, and it does not seem to want to record anymore. I don't think my card is full yet. Let's select higher rate. I got a wind here. Oh. We're going to high rate. See if I can fly FPV in high rate. And I'll let you see what I'm seeing on the screen here. Can you see that, folks? It actually shows up, don't it? Surprisingly enough. And I'm going to fly it one more time. Once this battery dies on this, again, I have a SEMA X5C battery waiting to go. Let's bring it down and point it toward me to show you what I'm seeing here. Can you see me, folks? I hope that's showing up. Overall, it does fly very similar to the X5C. Very good flyer. Has a lot of flight time on it. I'm just not sure why that card stopped recording. Okay, I'm starting to see the lights flicker. And for the remainder of the flight, we'll just show its maneuverability. Okay, there goes the batteries. Now I'm going to replace this battery with a SEMA X5C battery. Let's turn off the transmitter. And I'll pop out that battery. And again, I'll show you that, you know, it's just your standard X5C battery in here. I do have a replacement somewhere here. Hold on, I think it's in the box. Okay, I put a replacement SEMA X5C battery in there, turning on the transmitter. And I also moved the SD card out and in again. I reseated it. Hopefully that'll help. Okay, hitting record. and now it says it's recording. So I guess at a certain power level, it will stop recording. But for this part of the flight, we're going to fly FPV here in the shade. I am just focused on this screen here. Where am I at? The wrong way. And I'm going to try to fly at FPV just using the screen alone. Let's fly over to the other end of the field. I have to go to a higher rate because there's a slight wind here coming across the field. Okay, and I got drop out at about 40 meters. So the range on this is not spectacular at all, folks. We're talking about 40-50 meters, which is kind of unusual since this is 5.8 gigahertz. It shouldn't be that short, but it appears to be. Let's go over, and I am going to stop the video if it hasn't stopped already. And for the remainder of the flight, let's look at its flight characteristics. First off, let's set it up high. And I'm going to turn on the camera one more time, actually go upwind a bit. Camera on. See that wind blowing it back here. And then rotate it. And then I'm coming down. Going up, the range is very good. I don't know what the deal is. Horizontal range does not seem to be anywhere near as good. Okay, turning the camera off. And let's look at the flight characteristics of this thing. Okay, we'll do the funnels. And again, let's check out the range. We'll go upwind. Now it's flying great since I'm not recording. I think the recording has something to do with the limited range. And let's try our flips. Flips. And again, coming around. Flips. Good flyer. Going upwind, coming downwind. And how's that FPV screen? That FPV screen showing up in the sunlight. I'm going to go back into the shade again. I'm going to fly the rest of this FPV in again. Okay, now I'm getting great range. But not with the, the FPV screen gets a little bit fuzzy there. Let's set it up high. Again, like I did before. This is what I can see what the camera's saying. Recording. Recording again. Reducing throttle. Rotating while reducing throttle. And coming down. Shutting off recording. So overall, this particular quadcopter, I would not use it for trying to fly FPV. In other words, what's the word I'm looking for here? Trying to navigate around FPV. It's very difficult, but it is a good quadcopter to use to point the camera with. Say, let's go over here and take a video of that pole there. Am I pointing at it yet? Say we want to take a look at that light pole. You press the button and record. And there's the light poles for the field. Okay, camera coming off, coming down. Now I'm getting really great range with it. I don't know what the deal with it was, but now it's flying very good. No, it's flying fantastic. So again, this is the DW32, very similar to the Syma X5C. Looks almost the same as an X5C, except its camera has a transmitter on it. Hello there. I can see it, I'm pointing at myself, see? So you can use this camera, or this FPV system, mainly to point the camera. It does a good job of that too, by the way. There I am again. Okay, camera coming off. By the way, it gives pretty darn good flight time here. Let me try that again. You know, I'm getting great range now. I don't know what the deal was earlier. Now I got range out to, well, that was about 60 meters. So, this system is, say, you got a Syma X5C, but with a 5.8 gigahertz FPV receiver and transmitter. That's what this, in a nutshell, is. Okay, that's the end of the flight time apparently. Although my lights are not flashing. Let's see if I got a little more flight time. It's getting sluggish. I got a feeling it's almost at the end of the flight time. But I'm going to fly it until it won't fly anymore. There's the wind blowing it back. I didn't try the headless mode, did I? And that battery's almost gone. Let's try that headless mode 1 key return. Let's go up here. Which way was the... Okay, it's in headless mode now. Showing you that it can fly in headless mode. 1 key return. Okay, yeah, there we go. Remember, it was pointed that way when we took off. It was pointed in that direction, so you press 1 key return, hold it down, and it flies back down that bearing. Let's try that again. Well, maybe I don't have enough power to try that again. I'm in headless mode right now, that's why. I know I got a wind blowing it. Going up there, going to press the 1 key return. And it flies backwards toward me from the headless mode bearing. So in effect, again, and that screen is still showing up good. Again, you know, this is difficult to fly FPV flying, to navigate FPV with this, but it is great for pointing the camera. You can see where the camera is pointed and what you're viewing with this, and then you can press that record button like so. Well, it doesn't have power to record anymore, but that would be the point where you know, if you point it at yourself or whatever your subject is, you can see it, and then press the record button and record it. But again, my lights are flashing, and there is no more power to do such. So that was a flight of the DW32. Actually, it isn't too bad. Knowing its limitations, it's not too great for at navigating, but again, it is good for pointing the camera, the screen, and you can actually see the screen. It's probably not showing on my Mobius camera, but you can actually see what that screen is pointing at in the sunlight. Especially if you can get in the shade, it helps too. So, you know, this is what I'm seeing. I don't know if you're seeing it or not on my Mobius, but it is showing up, and I can see it, and I can actually fly by it out here in the sunlight and daylight. So, this is the DW32. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.